I normally don't do this type of stuff because I'm always like, I just do things at my own pace. I don't like to do things like when they're announced. But screw it, I'm gonna do it for the first time ever. So I'm just gonna do it because I'm pretty excited about this. So today we got a new digital event. We got to see a few new monsters, some new update stuff on Sunbreak, and in previous Monster Hunter videos and all that jazz, I have been able to speculate and even predict a lot of things, the good and bad things, unfortunately. Like, for example, this thing with Pokemon, everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be like Arceus. I'm like, no guys, it's gonna be like freaking Sword and Shield. And guess what? They did announce that, yeah, it's gonna be like Sword and Shield. It's not gonna be like Arceus. So either, so let's jump into this thing. So the new trailer begins. It's called The Three Lords. And first we see this like, this new goblin raptor creature, and I'm all for it. Anytime we get new like bird, wyvern that are the raptor types, what are they called, theropods? We got this boy, he's like a goblin looking creature, gob prey. I hope we get the big boy. I hope he's like some sort of the great gob drone. That would just be great. I love goblins, so this is just wonderful. I love it. The thing continues, and we get to meet our first big boy, this big golem. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know, but then the more I saw of him, I was like, oh no. I love how this guy looks. First of all, he's big. I love how big he is, and I think he's bigger than Rajang. I think he's maybe bigger than Gossarog, and I really hope so, because I like big monsters. So the first thing you see is his hand, and I was like, oh, like you see it looks flat, but then you can also see that he does have a hand. So they kind of do the Gossarog thing where it looks like he's got like almost like elephant feet, but it turns out he does have a paw in there. So it uses basically the same model, but by God, Mazios, does this guy freaking move like so cool. Like, I love how he's big, he's hefty, he has fire, he has water, and I know that while we do have Rajang versus Devil Joe for our whole King Kong versus Godzilla feel, guys, I kind of like this more. Like, I know I want to see this guy versus Joe, and this guy versus Rajang. And because he's one of the three lords, I'm really hoping that him, like Lunagaron, and our Elder Dragon, Malzeno, I'm really hoping that Luna and Golem over here are on the same level as the Elder Dragon. Because like the same way like Joe and Rajang are essentially like threat level Elder Dragon, that's what I want for these two. I want them to not be done early, or like mid-story and stuff like that. Like, oh, one's done early, one's done mid, and one's done late. Like, no. I want them to be the final three monsters, like in the sense of what we had, like we have a normal like kind of Monster Hunter tradition where you fight like three elders or such before like the big bad. So it would be like defeat the three lords, and then you get to fight whoever the real final fight is. That's what I want. Again, as the trailer continues, we get to see the new area, and first of all, I'm a sucker for ports. So like this looks fantastic to me. The furthest right might be maybe like the hunting hall basically, so it'll be the gathering hub. So I guess it looks like we got like the blacksmith in the middle. Looks like you're gonna have your house, and then to the left of that you've got, looks like where you're gonna eat. Looks like that's gonna be maybe like where you shop. And to the left of that, inside like the keep, looks like that's gonna be maybe the quest receptionist area. And obviously all this will be scalable. So then the trailer moves forward, and then we see this chick, and her name is Mineo, and I got super stoked because I thought, oh snap, is that Little Miss Forge from Monster Hunter 4? But then I saw that she has red hair instead of blonde hair, and I was like, okay, it's someone different. I was really excited because I was like, oh, we got a 4U character up in here? Especially considering how, we were kind of teased that our guild receptionist might be Sophia, the guild marm, returning, because we got this thing that shows some glasses, but no, it's this little girl named Chiche. She's gonna be our quest receptionist, and I'm okay with that. Like, I love new characters. Bringing new characters always, I prefer it. Again, it's really interesting because like this girl, everyone kind of like bows to her, so I don't know if she's from royalty. Again, I'm really hoping, because it's been hinted that Yomogi may be something like this. It's a shame they don't look the same, because they'd be like, oh look, the twins, but then we have two sets of twins. Anyway, we'll see what goes on with that. If they do anything. And I'm mentioning siblings. We have Rondine lookalike Fiorain and she, again, they did not say that it's Rondine's sister. I mean, she looks like her. She's a Royal Knight, which is their version of Hunters, and we've learned that she has a sister who's a Royal Knight. It'd be weird for them to reveal that information and then do nothing with it. That would be an absolute missed opportunity for like story and just connecting that, but they may not want to reveal it now. They might save it for the game. Again, we'll see. I don't know. Anyway, then you move on to this tea area, which means that yes, it's the bunny dongos continuing. That makes sense. We clearly brought over some of the feline chefs. You can see that there's the bunny dongo like lights, like little lanterns, and also you have green tea with your bunny dongo, so that makes sense talking about tea. And so we get to see the back of the Admiral. Mia Fio range, we also get to see back from her, also has that symbol. I really dig in like their guild crest, basically. I really like how that looks. So here's the Admiral, and along with probably this chick will be the guild receptionist for the gathering hub, I'm guessing. And then we got this like Aiden wannabe over here, ace cadet kind of fella. But again, we'll see how he is. And then we get to see real quick Bahari. He's and I love how this dude looks. So they all got like this bird brooch somewhere on their outfits. I really dig it. I love it. Like everybody, all the characters do. I'm not sure when they show him, but there's one more character. His name is Oboro, I believe. He's a merchant. And again, very cool. Looking at his attire, it looks like he's maybe like from our side, like Kimura. But then we get this beautiful wide shot, and you can see like there's to the left there's like foresty area, there's an icy area, and then there's like the castle ruins. This is why I realized something, and then I only further confirmed it later. So this area, by the way, is called the Citadel. This is the name of the new area, and the Citadel, I think, is going to be a Hoarfrost Reach type of deal. It's going to be one big area, so that's going to be like pushing the Switch to its limit. I'm a little worried about, load times or frame rates or pop-ins, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, Breath of the Wild runs on it, The Witcher and Dragon's Dogma runs on it, freaking Immortal Phoenix Rising. Yeah, well, I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, it won't be an issue for PC people, especially with newer PCs. For a few seconds later, it further confirms my suspicion when you see this like nice big shot where you can see the green area and they're flying over into the ice area. So I go, okay, yeah, so we got the three kingdoms, basically. That's why we're the three lords. And so I think it's gonna be one big area, and this again is closer to what the Monster Hunter team keeps talking about they're trying to achieve. They want to have all the areas be like interconnectable. Granted, this might be obviously not as big, like this is gonna be like one map, and they want to create something the size of Skyrim with all these different biomes for each region that you can cross into. But still, this is cool. I'm really loving this. Then soon after, we get to see Luna Garon do something that we all wanted to see, that we all were speculating, that we got this werewolf-like creature, and we say if it's a werewolf, we want to see it at some point where it stands on two legs, and sure enough, it does, and that makes me oh so happy. If I could just take a quick moment to just say this, when looking at this guy, he reminds me of John Talbane from Darkstalkers. And the fact that we got that Capcom Fighting collab, which has a bunch of Darkstalker games, looking at some of the outfits, especially when you see the outfit you get from the Amiibos, that collab, come on guys, like it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. Capcom, make this happen. Okay, back to the video. Then they kind of gave us like a little funny thing. This was hinted on Twitter, that we were going to get a subspecies of Bishaten, and here he is. He's blood orange Bishaten, and he throws, I saw him throwing I was like, is that power cones? He's throwing freaking basically pine cones at us that explode, and yeah, it was just funny because I'm like, oh great, now we have like a rival to Basil guys perhaps, or a cousin, he's a friend of Basil. That's also ironic because we all made jokes that Basil guys, freaking drop pine cone bombs on you, and this guy's literally dropping pine cone bombs on you, quick side note, I know it's Basel geese. We learned that in stories too. Old habits die hard. Then they show us something that made me a little nervous. So then they showed this chick, she uses a wire bug to grapple onto a Tigris's face and pull him into a wall, and I'm like, oh no, that's like Clutch Claw. But I don't think it's gonna be Clutch Claw exactly. I think I know how this is gonna work. I think that there's this new endemic life. There's two of them that they showed. One of them is called the morphed wire bug, which I think is going to be how you activate maybe like new switch skills, or like an added switch skill for like a temporary time. And the other thing is the marionette spider. I think that's how you're gonna do it. I think it's gonna be like you throw him out and it casts the web and it grabs him, and then you can pull him, and that's how she pulls him in and he hits the wall and he deals damage, and that's pretty cool. I think it's great. Right after that, we get to see a turf war, and this is clearly a nice scripted turf war, and I'm really excited to see these two kind of clash, but also I'm worried that we're going to see them a little too early. I don't want to see them early. I want to see them much later. I want them to be late game. We see a few new switch skills, and then we get to see this freaking dog with like a mounted like heavy bow gun on its back, whatever, and I'm like, oh, that's freaking great. I love it because I'm a heavy bow gun main. So, but it's this thing of like, I only ever take my palicos like when I'm playing multiplayer, so even when I'm in single player, I forget to use my dog. Like, I have my dog with me, but I forget to mount him because I'm so used to just not having him. So like, if this is gonna add more DPS to him, and maybe he's not rideable because of the obviously mounted gun on his back, to make you choose, do you want to be able to move more or have more damage? Well, I'm not riding him anyway, so frick yeah, give me more damage. I love it. And mentioning things I love, boom, we got this chick, like, looks like maybe rocking the new Bashatin armor, and her wire bugs are doing the new special thing, which I think is from the morph wire bug, because the morph wire bug sound like this yellow color, like a yellow orange. This is kind of a yellow orange. This is cool. Like, it looks like something where like maybe you shoot through it, but like maybe like projectiles don't come in, maybe protects you from like a roar. Basically, like, it kind of gives you a barrier. That's pretty sweet. Then we get to see real quick a hunting horn or coral horn type of deal that the cats can learn. I love that. It looks like a spirit bird. I love it. This is I love it. There's so much things I love. Then lastly, I want to touch on, like, talk about new moves and all that. We got this dude. He comes in spiraling like freaking Palpatine. He's clearly rocking like these claw hands and like the Luna Garen like outfit. And showing off that new skill. Then we get to see 4 hunters running in real quick. So it looks like the person on the far right has Bashatin. Then there's Luna next to that on the dog. Person in the middle has the Golem Greatsword, and to the left it looks like Hermitar. Then we see like a quick thing of our dragon, which they keep talking about. It's like, yes, we know about the stupid dragon, calm your tits. And then boom, we get a date. But I love when they do these with the trailers, where they always go like, oh, remember last time we saw like the eyes of Nargacuga and stuff like that. Well, this time I saw the tail and I was like, oh snap, it's Astalos. And then they just straight up show them like, boom, it's Astalos. And I'm freaking excited about Astalos coming back. And it's funny, we had first the dual blades thing, and I was like, oh, my wife's gonna be happy about that, and then her boy Astalos is coming back, so she's gonna be happy about that too. So this is a win-win for her. So there's a lot of wins for this. But I'm gonna touch on something right now for everyone. I'm gonna break your heart, so just bear with me. If Astalos is in the game, the Gaia Cruise is out. Like, anyone who's been waiting for the Gaia Cruise, I'm sorry, but it ain't gonna happen. So like Super Rad, I'm sorry, brother, it ain't gonna happen. But I mean, if you're a Reaver Jolt, good news, brother. it may not be a Bolt Reaver Astalos, but heck, I know you're still happy. The other bad news I'm gonna mention real quick is because Luna Garen will use ice to give himself armor. Who's that sound like? That's Zamtrios. So everyone who wanted Zamtrios, they ain't happening either. I'm just saying, I'm calling it now. There's going to be no Legaia Cruise, no Zamtrios. And then of course we get our date. We get our date for June 30th. So that's the trailer. But let's go over a few little things. one, I want to touch on like the Rampage, because some people think that the Rampage isn't coming back. But here's the thing, guys. This new area that we're in looks like it's like a forward operating base, like it's clearly being constructed. So that might be like to protect the kingdom. So don't be surprised if we have within these castles and keeps and such, obviously, like instead of being like in this feudal Japan looking architecture, we're gonna have like we have this medieval Gothic architecture, which again is gonna have obviously ballistas and cannons and all that kind of stuff. So guys, you know, Rampage was a mechanic built for, you know, the Gen 5 portable. So don't be surprised when it comes back. It's gonna be there. And will it be like part of the story, like they throw it in? Who knows? Probably at least once. But don't be surprised when the Rampage is, you know, in Sunbreak. I'm just telling you now. And then also the other thing of people being like, oh, wyvern riding is not going to be back. Well, not only did we see wyvern riding in this trailer, but that speculation is because there was a thing that they showed at another date where you could change probably the mapping of the button for wyvern riding, because right now as it is, if you hit a monster, well, if they can be wyvern rideable, if you hit the monster in the middle of your combo, whatever, you mount the monster. Or if you use an attack, usually it just now you want to mount the monster. So I think it's gonna allow you to change it. Like if you're on the Switch, for example, it'll let you, like I'm gonna change it to Y, so that way I have to basically sheath my weapon to then choose if I want to wyvern ride. That way it doesn't interrupt my freaking combos, which I hate. Trying to do true charge slash, and instead I go, oh, hit, and then there's the next big hit. Doesn't happen. I get on the freaking monster. Wasted. Ugh. That way if people don't want to wyvern ride, they don't have to. They just want to wait on the monster, whatever. So I don't think wyvern riding is going away, but we might see a lot less of it because of the button mapping. The last thing I want to talk about that's probably prevalent, after March 25th, no new Monster Hunter Rise, like the base game, event quest. And I'm okay with that, but it's perfect date too. It's 1 day before the 1 year anniversary. So yeah, there we go. They gave us new content like every week for a year. That's pretty awesome. And these pictures of these last two, I don't know what's going on the left, but the one on the right, it looks like it's a Rampage with all of Rashings, and as terrible as that sounds, I'm actually all for it. Like, I don't like the Rampage, but that looks like fun. I'm in. Anyway, and then other than that, you know, I just want to quickly touch on pre-order bonus, which is like this dog and the cat. I don't know why they gave us a Japanese Shiba when we're going to the medieval European place, and then when we were in the Japanese place, they gave us a golden retriever. That should have been swapped, but whatever. And then anyway, and then we have this. I love this cat. It's funny because I have a cat that looks like that. I have a cat that looks like the other pre-order bonus, the big fluffy one. So essentially, I can just have my cats. But for all you dog people, hopefully there's a lot of dog skins. I hope you have your dog. So then they showed the Deluxe Edition. I always get Deluxe Editions and Collector's Editions, and I love these outfits. They look so good. I'm excited to see like the extra hairstyle and the emote and everything that comes with it. And then lastly, of course, we have the Amiibos for all you Switch users. And I have the ones from Story 2, Monster Hunter Rise. I want to get these as well. I love the outfits they unlock. These look so sick. Like, these look so good. I'm so excited about this game. I really am. But all in all, but there you go. I went into a little bit. That's enough of this. Tell me what you thought about it in the comments below. I really want to know, what did you see that was new that you were excited about, that you weren't expecting, and of course, what were you disappointed in? I mean, that's always something. And what's the thing that you're hoping for the most that hasn't been revealed yet? Like me, everybody wants their favorite monster back. All I want is layered weapons and rainbow pigment. We'll probably see more over the course of the next couple of weeks, like at least one new thing in April, in May, and June, and then the game will release. Until then, I gotta get back working on the project I'm working on. It's Pokemon related. It is controversial, and I'm not going to make a lot of friends with this upcoming video, but I'm going to do it. So until next time, happy hunting.
Enjoy the hunting life.